1992, they want to get all the school that that this congregation had in Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama, and made just a huge school of preaching in Panama. So that led us in Costa Rica with no school of preaching. We graduated in Costa Rica for 3 years, 3 generations of preachers. And that was a lot of help for Costa Rica. But after that, church stopped to grow. It just was 13 congregations in the whole country. 13 congregations. So my wife and I, we planned by that time our coming to USA. And it took us like 6 years to fulfill that dream. In 1999, we moved with all my family to Memphis School of Preaching with 4 children, 12, 7, what is it, Katia? 4, and 8, 4 of them. With ages, she has to help me. And that was the place where I met Brother Joel. We were classmates for 2 years. Couldn't speak, still, but couldn't speak good English by that time. So they buried with me 2 years there. The plan was to come back and start a school of preaching. But suddenly, when we were ready, an elder from Mount Juliet Church of Christ told me, Raphael, don't go back yet. Get your master's degree or get your BA and go and open a school of preaching with a little more preparation. So I did that. And when we were ready, an elder from Main Street Church of Christ in Manchester told me, Raphael, get a master's degree. You will not open a school of preaching without a master's degree. And plan B again. So we postponed the coming or the returning, and I keep in that way till I get my master in divinity. And I told Katia, we have no money to keep going, studying, it's too much. We have the 4 children in college by that time, and we were empty nest. But doing wonderful in North Jackson Church of Christ, Jackson, Tennessee. Doing wonderful, cannot complain. But still was in my heart the promise that I did with myself. And Katia, my wife, says, I don't want to go back. We are doing wonderful here. But I told her, no, we have to go back. We have to go back. And it took me like 2 years to convince her. 2 years. So we went back and we established the Costa Rican School of Preaching. We call Costa Rican Theological Institute. What we offer, I will show you right here in the next slides. There we go. Mm-hmm.
Forward back.
All right. As you see right here, let me see. Okay.
He doesn't have you plugged in.
Oh, okay, okay.
Just make something up for a couple of minutes.
All right.
You're good now.
Okay. You see, Costa Rica is a little teeny country in Central America. It is between Nicaragua and Panama. Costa Rica has been a peaceful country. We don't have army. The saying is that we put all our budget in the schools and clinics. But it's 4.1 million inhabitants right now. We speak Spanish, of course, but there is many people that now speak English because you have the election or you just choose what language to learn in high school, French or English. So you may find people there with these skills. And we are about the size of West Virginia. It's just a little, very little country. As you see, where is the white star is where is the School of Preaching, right there. It's just like a Colorado. right there up on the mountains, very high. I was telling Joel that San Jose is 1,300 meters over the sea level. That makes like 40-something, 48, 47 feet over the sea level. But here is more. I think it's 500 more. But it's always 70, 75 degrees the whole year. It might be that a hot day may be 80. The cool day will be 65. But that's the range the whole year. The difference between summer and winter is raining. We have almost 3 or 4 days during the week raining. And that's it, the difference only. You can get the Atlantic Ocean in 3 hours, and you can get the Pacific Ocean in 1 hour. So right there in the middle, you may go to high mountains. We have the rainforest of Central America right there. Nobody can touch the forest. It's huge, very nice. And we have a beautiful park to visit there. But when we got this school, we got 13 congregations. We planning to go back, and right now there is 50 congregations, not because the school of preaching, of course, but it is too few congregations for that size of country. So we decided to go there and open congregations, work with congregations that may have full-time ministers. But we find something that is worthy to mention. Many of the congregations of the Church of Christ in Costa Rica are a little liberal. Not much, but they are going in that path. So told Katia, the school is needed here, where we can teach and preach the doctrine of Jesus Christ. So we got immediately, let me explain you a little more about the country. The country is 80% Catholic, as you may imagine, in Central America. It's just a few congregations of the Church of Christ there. We need to grow, as I'm telling you. And many denominations are preaching false doctrine. The Baptist church is huge there after Catholic. And then Pentecostal church is there, very, very strong. And the School of Preaching, right now we are teaching 64 courses in 2 years, because we begin the day at 8:30 and we finish the day at 4. So it's a lot of study during the day. As you see right here, we give the equivalent of a bachelor degree in Bible studies. They will study Greek 1, Greek 2, Greek 3, Greek 4. They will study all the books of the Bible, since Genesis till Revelation. They will study homiletics, hermeneutics, exegesis. They will study history of the church. They will keep the book as a pillow for 2 years. The school has a night program as well, because there are many people that cannot study full time. So they will come Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 hours each night. And we offer 48 courses in, there is 4 years right there, not 2 years, 4 years. And the School of Preaching has also master's program for those who already have a School of Preaching degree or equivalent like that. We have right now just 4. At the beginning of the year, we have 6, but too quick. They say too strong, too heavy. So we have 4 right now. They came to the school Fridays and Saturdays. Right now, we moved that to Mondays. This is the full-time School of Preaching right now. This where I am, right there at the right side. This is the 6th student, 2nd year. And with Heiner, the other instructor, There is the 6 students in first year class. All of them very nice people, good Christian people. We are in love with these children because it's like our children. Katia and I, we behave with them as a mom and dad. Katia cook, Katia do the coffee, help them to do everything. It's amazing how they are 20, 24, 26, and they still behave like a children. And Katia is my helper, my secretary, my rock, like Joel says in the book. Oh, yes. This is the second year students. It's in the middle is Andres, and then Daniel. The 2 guys in the middle, the 2 students in the middle, they are going to be graduated this December. All of them, but the 2 in the middle, we want them to be instructors in the school of preaching because we want native instructors to teach native students. So they are so smart. I'm not smart. I'm teaching Greek, but I'm not that smart like they are. They are just ahead of me already. And we just need the last quarter in order for them to be graduated. And we want them to be instructors in the school. This is the first year students, 6 of them. We cannot afford right now anymore. They are doing great. You see the last one is a blue eyes, white, tall guy. It looked like an American. Looked like a from Colorado. But guess what? Guess what? He doesn't speak any word in English. He's Costa Rican. The other ones right here, the other ones are Nicaraguans, 2 of them, and the other one are from Costa Rica. This is the wives of the students. You see, all of them, they have to take 16 classes during the 2 years. Also, they have to take 16 seminaries during the 2 years. That's another thing that I'm going to explain you just in a while. But they are fantastic. Many of them work during the day. The third from the right down, the third one, is the assistant secretary of Katia. She is amazing. She is bilingual. She's hustle in the office. She translates the reports of the students. This is a diploma award that we give after 10 hours of seminary. As you can read there is 16 seminars in 2 years for all full-time and wife students. That consists in 10 hours each seminary, which is a total of 160 hours. That makes them to increase from 64 courses to 70 courses accredited. Heritage University in Alabama are, accredited us. They, Free Harman University, they will get any of our students and they will recognize 2 years of studies in Bible. So they know that they have to accumulate hours. All of them right here are getting the seminars right here. And then this is the classroom. The person here is Kevin Colley, is one of the instructors that comes to teach short courses, and he is teaching Thessalonians. I am interpreting right there, and I'm behind him taking this picture. So yeah, I'm interpreting there, 36-hour class, this one. This is media and communication, or communication media class. Kevin Colley is does his major. He is a minister. I think he's in Boston, Arkansas, Boston Church of Christ, and he's amazing and help them to use the PowerPoint, to use the media and communication. You know, this is very important for ministers in today's days because we need to be side by side with that technology, And this is 36 also class. This is the life of Moses seminar. The person that is speaking here, this teaching, is Pablo Orna. He graduated from Memphis School of Preaching 3 years ago, and he is fantastic. He's coming to help us in the school as a full-time instructor as well. He is teaching the seminary of Moses. It was a wonderful seminary. Many people from different churches in Costa Rica came to attend this seminar. And this is David Leonard. He is a minister of the congregation, and he preaches for a congregation in Atlanta. He's graduated from Memphis School of Preaching as well, a little before than Joel and us. Wisdom literature, beautiful class. I interpret in this class. It's amazing to hear again wisdom literature. This is second year class. And I'm showing these pictures to you that you may feel the sense to be in this class, in this school. This leadership seminary, who is speaking here is Dr. Luscombe, or Manley Luscombe. He is a minister in Mississippi. He had a lot of people for this seminary. It was like close to 60 people. And many people are not full-time. We extend the seminaries to everybody. And the congregation are getting advance of this because they didn't have this before. And that's why there were, false doctrines infiltrating in the congregations in Costa Rica. This is a music seminar. I'm interpreting for Brother Foy Forehand. Foy Forehand is a doctor in music, and he was telling them how to read music. That's another thing. People in Costa Rica, we don't lead songs knowing music. We sing with soprano voice, and we don't have the four voices. So he is teaching here how to read a pentagram, and how to move the hand, which is wonderful. That was a wonderful seminar, very crowded seminar. This person, Bro Harris know him. His name is Chip Horton. Chip Horton was a classmate of Bro Harris and myself, a wonderful person. He is teaching Minor Prophets class, and I was interpreting for him. This is a second year class as well. This is a new congregation that the students established a year ago. A couple weeks ago, our anniversary was 1 year. This congregation now, it has 45 members, but the students, 3 of our students, began that congregation last year, and that's what I want you to think about. Those 3 students came out with the idea to open a congregation in downtown, and they did. And look at 45 members right now. 2 weeks ago, we rent a new place for this congregation, and it's growing. It's growing. And we are planning to establish the second one, but this second one is not in San Jose downtown. It's 3 hours far from San Jose, up in the mountains. We have baptized 4 people right there already, and we are planning to send a student to start worshiping regularly every Sunday. As you see, this is what I wanted, what I dreamed when I was working for North Jackson Church of Christ. This is the whole school body, night class, master class, and the full-time class, and the wives. We went to this congregation. This congregation hold this time the seminar of David. So after the seminar, we want to take these pictures to show you this is the school right now. 26 students plus other people right there. We are trying to influence congregations in San Jose. What we do with 9 seminaries yearly, 16 seminary in 2 years, is to offer those seminaries to congregations that they may prepare the refreshment and offer the church building. It's like a campaign for them, like a gospel meeting a week for them. 10-hour seminary, and in that way they will hear the gospel of Jesus Christ, the truth being preached. So this is the daily life of the students. They, as soon as they have a break after 9:30, 10:30 is the first break, and then lunch, and then 2:30 afternoon, and then they leave. So in these 2 breaks, they take a cup of coffee and relax a little bit. You see right here, this is our kitchen, very small. They have to every time say, excuse me, because there is no room there to walk. But they do the best with the thing that they have. Right here is another break, coffee break. Dave Leonard and Chap Dolheit is teaching seminars about this time, and they are taking coffee. Right now, you see there is 3 students punished. No, they are not being punished right there. What they are doing there is writing on the board the memory work before the instructors came into the classroom. So I told them, we have to memorize writing, listen, and repeating. That's the way. Repetition. You remember that, Brother Harris? Yeah, and they are here, and one of these days I passed, walking there, and I saw this, and I told myself, I'm going to take this picture, look like they are being punished. But the memory work is something that we have to deal every day. Every day. I'm going to introduce you one by one the second-year student. This is Christopher Sirias. He has been a wonderful, humble student. He came, he didn't preach when he came, he didn't have the ability to lead songs, but now this person is a different guy. He can preach, he can lead songs, he can evangelize. Beautiful family. He's ready to open a new congregation in a place called San Carlos. We are raising support for him. He has 0 right now, but he is, by faith, he says, I am going to preach the gospel in San Carlos. Beautiful person. And this is Stephen and Marcela. Stephen came to the school in a very peculiar circumstances. He came to be interviewed by myself, and I told him, don't quit your job. I need to see if I can raise your support. Next week, he called me and he says, I quit. And I told him, what you have done? Why? I haven't no money for you yet. And he says, you are a lack of faith. God will provide. And I was so concerned, and he was right. We find his scholarship, and then another thing happened during the 6 months after that. He likes, we lunch all together, and he always wants to leave a space between the other student and himself, and he says, my wife sit right here. And everybody says, what wife? He invented a wife, imaginary wife. And I told him, why are you doing this? He says, everybody here is married, so I am praying the Lord that he gave me a wife. So I told my Lord, I'm going to start giving a space to my imaginary wife. It worked. It worked. Now he is married. He found a nice Christian lady. Her parents are Christians, a member of the Church of Christ, and he got lucky, let me tell you. Now he came to school with a smile from face to face, yeah. And this is something that we always say, Stephen is a man of faith, really. This is Andres Cotto. Andres, they don't have children. There is something also that I want to say about him. He was working for the government. He was working in that department of the inspection cars. He has to inspect every car being in the right condition in order the government give a sticker and that car can circulate or can run in the city. So he knows about mechanics. He was making a lot of money and he quit for $600. That's the scholarship for every student. And he was making $1,800 monthly. So I was very impressed for him. Priscilla, she works for a bank, and she is helping him right now while he is studying. He is going to be an instructor in the school. He's very smart. He knows about cars, everything about cars. And Andres Cotto, very faithful man. And this is another one. He is something also particular about this person. He has 21 when he become a gospel preacher. With no preparation, with nothing. The congregation on Plainview, Church of Christ in Alabama, support this work. And he finds just this faithful person with no preparation. But guess what? They need the church, somebody to preach in that church. A church of 35 members. So they select him. And he has no training experience. 21 years, he's just a kid when he became a preacher. When we established the school of preaching, he was the first one to come and say, I want to be part of this because I'm preaching every week and I don't know what I'm preaching. So in this way, there are many congregations in Costa Rica. That's why many false doctrine is infiltrating in these congregations. So now he is one of the best students, Byron, with his practice and what he has learned. He is a person that has a lot of ability in history, geography, intertestament period. All those classes, he is just amazing. He knows the Old Testament right there at hand. He has a lot of ability for facts and history. He's going to help us from time to time to teach classes at the school as well. But he's a full-time preacher right now. Daniel Rivera is also the next instructor. He is graduated in engineering, and he has an amazing job, and he quit that job because his dad was a gospel preacher. I knew him when he was just 12. His dad was a student of mine when we used to have the other school. Now he wanted to become a gospel preacher, but he had amazing job. And guess what? He quit that job. And he become to be a full-time student. He's 36 and she's 36, but they have no children. They are planning now, and he becomes, Lord's willing, one of the instructors. This is Edgar Solis, and something that I want to tell about him, when we have 5 students, that's all that 2017, December 2017, that's all that I had. So I told Katia, we are going to begin with 5 full-time students. And suddenly I was running in Clarksville, Nashville, close to Nashville area. I was running in a park close to the house of my daughter, and I get a call, Edgar Solis. And I told him, yes. See, I want to be part of the school. Oh, I'm sorry, I have no scholarship, no more. Don't worry about the money. I talked to my mom, my dad, my aunts. They are going to fund me for my transportation money. That's all that I need. Really? You want to be a part of full-time? Do you know what is this about? And look, he is there. The first couple months, I saw him struggle with transportation money. So Katia and I, we come out with our money and helping with $100. And then we raise a little more. Now he's a full-time student, but he came to the school in that condition. So it's amazing. Edgar Solis is going to be graduated in 3 months. In 3 months. It's a person that has the ability to remember everything. You know, it's weird to see men that remembers everything. We forgot everything, right? He remembers everything. Amazing. And this is Carlo Jara, first year student. His wife is assistant secretary of Katia. She is amazing. Carlo Jara, first year students. This is Josue. That one that I told you looks like a Texan or from here, very, white and green eyes, tall guy. And everybody, when Americans go to Costa Rica, they start talking to him in English. I say, I don't know any English. Beautiful family. He's a first year student. And this is from Nicaragua, Enrique Sanchez Marin. Enrique doesn't speak with accent. Nicaraguans speak different language than Costa Rica, but he had the ability to overcome the accent. Now he looks like a Costa Rican. You see, I have been speaking English for 20 years and I still have a strong accent. So difficult to overcome accent, and he is a very smart person. Joel Perez is from Nicaragua as well. There are a lot of need in Nicaragua, as you may imagine. He's one of our country's neighbor, and always they are in need. And we are preparing preachers for that country as well. Joel Perez. This is Christopher Quintanilla. He is the person that is hustle in the school. He helps us with everything, technology. He put the computer, he put the PowerPoint, he fixed outlets, he fixed everything. Amazing. Christopher Quintanilla, first year student. Jean Paul Gamboa came with a lot of recommendation. He was preaching to different small congregations in all Costa Rica with no preparation, with no training. But he is a good speaker. And he was helping congregation that doesn't have ministers. And now he is a first year student. We are lucky to get him. And really he is a good speaker. This is the instructors. Scott Peña is at the bottom. He is from Kentucky. He is coming 4 times to Costa Rica to teach 4 times church courses. And then Heiner at the corner who is a full-time instructor right now. He is graduated from Brown Trail School of Preaching. And Scott, right in the bottom, he is graduated with a master's degree from Free Harman. And Paulo Orn in the middle, he is graduated from Memphis School of Preaching. As you can imagine, we need instructors. I'm going to tell you why. If you account 8 classes during the week for second year students, 8 classes during the week for first year students, that is 16 hours, 16 classes. And 3 classes for a master's degree program. And 2 classes for the night class. That makes us a total of a bunch of classes. For 4 people, when you teach, I think 2 or 3 classes is enough. It's enough. And at the first year, I found myself almost no sleeping. My wife is my witness. 9 classes every quarter. I was reading, grading, teaching, but I knew that the first year will be hard. This year has been a little different. I'm teaching 6 classes. It still is a lot of classes. So that's why we need the full-time instructors. So this is the School of Preaching in Costa Rica. We have just 2 years being established. There are a lot of students making the line to get into the school. We are planning to have 6 students. We have just 2 scholarships for next year promised. 2 scholarships promised. We are working for the other 4. There are like 13 people trying to get into the school. There are a lot of need. Costa Rica has a lot of need for new congregations to preach the truth. The gospel came to Costa Rica in 1958. 1958. It might be just like 60 years of history in Costa Rica of the truth. And we have just 50 congregations. Small congregations, 30, 40, 25, 50. A 50 members congregation is a good size congregation in Costa Rica. So there are a lot of things to do in Costa Rica. And I appreciate you listening to this presentation. And I want to take any questions about Costa Rica, about the school, about the students, about the plans, anything that you may ask.
They're bashful, Raphael.
Mm-hmm.
They're bashful.
They're bashful.
They're scared.
I'm scared. Okay.
Scared of you.
No, you can ask any question. Huh? I appreciate your time.
Are you hoping to maybe get more than 6 students a year in the future?
Yes, our plan was at the beginning to have at least 10 yearly. I thought to raise funds was a nice thing to do, but raise funds is not fun. So it's too hard. It's too hard, and we are trying to do our best. What Katia and I need is to work more in USA than in Costa Rica, to raise support more here and to have. That's why it's so important these 2 fellows to become full-time instructors in the school. In that way, we can still handle the school and raising more support. Yeah, the plan is 10 at least. Mm-hmm.
When he says 6, he means in each, there's 2 years of school. So like there you have, one side is first year, one side is second year. So there's 12 altogether. 12 students altogether, right?
Oh.
I'd like to get up to 20.
20.
Nice.
20.
So do you have other people that are, do you have to deny people that come to school?
Every year we have to select.
That's a good problem.
That's
Sort of.
a good problem.
People
Yeah.
don't want to preach that.
Yeah, there are many people who want to become a preacher because there is a lot of need. Yeah, there is a lot of need. You see, just in 2 years, we haven't finished 2 years in Costa Rica, and we almost have established 2 congregations already. 2 congregations. And yes.
The $600 per student is monthly, right?
It's monthly, 72 yearly.
A little cheaper than here.
Yeah, with this, they can rent, they can eat, they can study, they know that they have to do a little sacrifice. You cannot become a student as a full-time minister, no. But they have to do a lot of sacrifice, and they are doing great. They are doing great. Any other question? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Raphael. Appreciate it.